When I hear the term fourscore and 7 years, I usually think of Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. But today I'm not talking about my favorite president or his famous speech. No, I'm talking about another great man, one who is actually fourscore and 7 years old. And though he is far less celebrated, he is a significantly more important person in my life because he's my father. Today, I want to showcase a momentous event in Dad's life. I hope you'll listen as I celebrate this common everyday hero and his 15 minutes of fame. Welcome to Longing for More, where Christians come to strengthen their faith, revive their soul, and learn to live their lives with a sense of fulfillment and peace. Listen each week to learn how to incorporate your faith into your daily activities, stop wandering through life feeling empty and unfulfilled, and begin to live your more. Let's get started. My dad's experienced a lot in his 87 years, but recently he experienced a lifetime achievement few ever get to enjoy. He was recognized by his peers and was inducted into the South Dakota Auctioneers Hall of Fame. It truly was an honor to be one of the speakers at the awards banquet at the State Auctioneers Convention where Dad received this prestigious award. Sadly, due to COVID, the numbers were down quite a bit, but that didn't dampen the spirit for those who attended. The buttons nearly burst off Dad's Western shirt as accolades were shared and congratulations offered. If you don't know my dad, let me introduce you. Don Bourk was the second of 8 children and grew up near Canning, South Dakota during a time when our country was in a Great Depression. He went to a one-room school, but I'm sure he got most of his education from the School of Hard Knocks. He has some interesting stories about growing up on the farm, and I know for certain that is where he learned to work hard. I'm also pretty sure that that's where he learned to be smart enough to avoid some of that hard work. At one point, Dad decided to enter into the ministry and even hitchhiked back and forth to Idaho from South Dakota to attend college for a while. For various reasons, he didn't finish. Looking at it from this perspective, we know that God steered him a different direction because God knew he could use Dad's skills and talents to serve in a much less traditional path. He served his country while he waited for life to really begin and came home to marry and start a family. A few short years later, he discovered his true calling in life, auctioneering. He stumbled across the industry almost by accident and quickly decided to attend schooling to learn the business. With certificate in hand, he tried a number of avenues to make his big break, some of which worked and others of which did not. As it happens in so many areas of life, things fell into place when he found the right people to partner with. I personally am inspired by the fact that a number of the things he tried didn't work out and that the, quote, failures didn't deter him. Each time he figured out what he needed to do better and he kept going. After nearly 60 years, he's done a lot of different things and has traveled most of central South Dakota either to buy or sell cattle or land. The best part is he's made a lot of friends and is well respected in his community. He'll not die with a ton of money in the bank, but when he's called home, he will go a very rich man. Some might wonder how God could use a guy who alternated between holding a mic and a cow whip in his hand to serve others. If you know my dad, you wouldn't need to ask. He's that guy who always has a smile on his face and could cheer you up no matter how down you felt with a simple word of encouragement. I've always loved his attitude that he's never met a stranger, and I feel blessed to watch him live that philosophy in many situations through the years. You truly won't find a more genuinely friendly person anywhere. Beyond that, he helped many people in need by connecting them with the things that allowed them to live a good life at an affordable price, while at the same time helping others dispense with things that no longer serve them. Through his auction business, he and his partner were recycling unwanted items long before eBay or Facebook were ever thought of. Another way he served our community was the way he announced hundreds of kids' rodeos, achievement days, and benefit auctions through the years. He always had an encouraging word for the young people who participated. I'll bet there isn't a kid in central South Dakota who knows Don Bourk that couldn't tell at least one story about how he made an impact in their life in some small way. Anyone who knew my dad in his younger years will agree that he knew how to tell a story. He was always at the center of the party and as a result, made some decisions that fit that lifestyle. Dad didn't always do life perfectly, but that's what makes his story so important. He's a living, breathing example that we don't have to be perfect. We can wander down our path and away from God, and God will be waiting for us when we return. Dad feels blessed to have been in the auction business all these decades. It's been good to him, and it's a rare thing in this day and age to have a career you love as much as my dad loves his. Did you notice I said loves? Yes, he's still using his craft, and you'll find him at the sale barn most weeks and at the auction sale on occasion still. That's what happens when you have the courage to put your skills and talents together and go after a dream that God lays on your heart. I personally am grateful for the legacy that growing up in the auction business has left me. Hearing Dad's sing-song call through the years has always brought a special joy to me, and as anyone who is near the business knows, it's a rare talent that few are blessed with. Auctioneering truly was perfect for the man who never met a stranger, only friends he hadn't met yet. Those are clearly words to live by, and yet they aren't just words to my dad. They are a way of life. I am so proud of the life my father has made for himself, and it truly was an honor to be by his side as he accepted his award. It's a great tribute for him to be recognized by his peers, and it's a crowning achievement in a really great career. The Tri-State Livestock News did a great story about Dad in this past week. To read their story, go to the link in the show notes found at longingformorepodcast.com. I want to thank you for stopping by today and allowing me to brag on my dad for a bit. We simply don't take the opportunity to celebrate successes in life often enough, but this is one I didn't dare let sneak by. If you see my dad, I hope you'll stop and congratulate him. Again, I want to thank you for stopping by. I hope that you'll subscribe to the show so that you won't miss an episode. And in the meantime, I hope you'll come back next week. Until then, go, be blessed, and live your more.